This is what the pastel pencils look like. You'll be receiving two, one that's red and one that's white. And the white one will be reserving for only highlights. So we'll always start off with the red pencil first. And you want to hold it similar to the way you're supposed to hold a charcoal pencil, which is far back. You can see my fingers are kind of near the back of the pencil towards that gray area. And you want to use kind of a pincher grip when you do it. Even though they are similar to a charcoal pencil, they're not. You have to understand that just because it's a pencil doesn't mean that the lead is the same. So instead of having charcoal as a lead, there's pastel, which if you've ever used dry pastel or powdered pastel, this is what it is. It's just a pencil form of that. To sharpen your pencil, you just use a handheld pencil sharpener exactly how you did with the charcoal pencils. Now we're going to do an actual exercise. So we're going to start off with a gradient. And you've done gradients in the past, but because we've switched our materials, we're working with a new medium, we should do another one. So this rectangle measures 4 by 6 inches. We're starting with the left side and we're using the red pastel pencil. It's important that you go one way with your stroke. It doesn't matter to me which way you go. You can go horizontal, you can go vertical, you can go at a diagonal hatch, but whatever you do, you have to maintain that throughout the rectangle. So you're going to be pressing hard on the left side, and the goal is to get a ombre or a fade as you move towards the center. And you have to go all the way to the brown color or gray color of your paper. So you want the paper to be exposed. It's easy to get 3 values. The hard part is making it seem like a seamless transition from one value to the next. In other words, you don't want to have any striping. You want it to be a smooth shift from one value and just fade almost like it's melting into the gray of the paper. So you can see me going back and forth and adjusting it. Anywhere there's a gap in my shading, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to fix that. So at my first pass might not be perfect, and that's okay. I'm just going to go in and fill it in and adjust it and tweak it and take some patience to get that to look like a true ombre or a fade. Another word for those things is a gradient. That's why I keep using that word too. If you go outside of the frame, it's no big deal. I don't mind that at all. But I do want you to make sure that you go all the way to the gray of the paper so it looks like the red is just dissolving into the gray. Take your time on this. Make sure that you are neat. Make sure that you have a true transition from one value to another value to another. This is the key to making objects have volume. So once you're satisfied with the red side, you're going to go to the right side and you can see I'm working with the white this time. And the concept is the same. You want to press the hardest on all the way to the right side of the frame. And then as you work your way in towards the middle, you want to fade that up. And it has to be a smooth transition. As you're working on the white, it's important that you keep in mind that you want to keep the middle part of that rectangle free from any shading, no red, no white, and it should be a gap of about an inch. If you don't do that, then I have to ask that you redo the assignment. You need to do that because so many of the drawings that we're going to do include areas where there are gaps. So you don't necessarily want to shade all of your paper. You want to leave the gray of the paper exposed. You want to let the gray do some of the work. It's going to look more professional and it'll mean less work for you in the long run.